What's up everyone, my name is Sky. I'm a Swedish medical student and I do videos about life as a medical student, productivity, time management and study technique. Today I wanted to share with you some of my best productivity tips that I gathered throughout the years. Being a medical student and juggling a long distance relationship as well as jobs and this YouTube channel, I've learned a lot about productivity the hard way, but also by reading books such as 4-Hour Workweek, Make Time, and Getting Things Done, Stress-Free Productivity. And not to brag or anything, but I regularly hear that I'm really productive and effective and get questions such as, how do you make time to do this? How do you have time to do that? And how do you juggle all of your different focus areas in your life? And so I thought, why not share some of my best productivity tips with you guys? They're not that advanced, they're actually really simple, but a big part of being productive is just to simplify your life. Anyway, if you happen to like this video or it gives you any insights that you didn't previously have, please consider subscribing and checking out my channel for even more content. The first tip is that you really have to have insight into the fact that we own our own time. You own your time and you make priorities based on that. Me, you, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, we all have the same 24 hours in our day. And while we know that, we still have excuses such as, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. But what you're really saying, or what you should be saying, is that I'm not making this a priority of mine, or I'm not making time to do this. Basically, most of us, we have the opportunity to choose what we do with our time. Even if you feel like you're stuck at a regular day job, it's still your choice to be there. And so for you to really be productive and strive towards your goals in an effective way, you really have to understand and just accept the fact that you own your own time and you can do whatever you want with that time. A practical example of this is just the amount of meetings that we have at our different jobs. For example, someone sends you an invitation to a Teams meeting and you just accept it. But how often do you actually think about what you bring to the table at this meeting? Do you really need to be at this meeting? Chances are you don't really have to attend many of these meetings that you actually attend. Just try for a change for a week or just for a day to just really think about every meeting invite that you get. Do I bring value to this meeting? If the answer is no and you think that you can do something else that is much more productive in your day, then decline the invitation. And that's just one way of how you can take ownership of your own time. The second tip is use a calendar. It could be on your iPhone, your computer, or a physical calendar, but just use a calendar. Because in the life that we're living, there's constantly so much information coming our way. It could be work, it could be relationship, it could be just thoughts and ideas in your head. And if you don't use a calendar, you just have all of these thoughts in your head, which is taking up capacity in your brain. And you can use all of this energy and capacity towards productive tasks, effective tasks that moves you towards your goals. Even if you don't use a calendar today, you should start using a calendar. And I'm gonna go more and more into what you should actually do with the calendar, but just start by putting in all of your appointments. Now the next tip is to use a to-do list. And okay, this is kind of similar to the use a calendar list, but I want to be overly clear that if you use a calendar and a to-do list and some of the other tips that I'm going to tell you later, this is really the staple of being productive and not using your brain to store all the information that is headed your way during the day, but instead using your brain for calculations, for thinking, and for doing productive work. So the to-do list is basically what I call your brain dump. So anything that comes into your head or anything that just anyone says to you that you have to take action on, write it down on a to-do list. And once again, I don't care if it's an app, if it's physical on paper, or whatever, if it's in a Word document, just write everything down, and from there you can then sort your thoughts and your to-dos into actionable events or tasks. So if someone tells me at work that, Sky, can you please send an email to this person? And then my girlfriend calls and she says, can you buy bananas for dinner tonight or something? Weird example, but whatever. And all of these different inputs, they could make me go crazy if it's like more than 15 or something. But if I have them on my to-do, I can see them, they're very clear and concrete, and they make for actionable events that I can sort. Because if all of this is just in your head, you just get this overwhelming feeling that, oh, there's just so much going on and I don't know where to start. A to-do list and a calendar helps you to actually start and make actionable events from inputs that are coming from the outside. The next tip is time boxing, and it has to do with your calendar. And this one really revolutionized my thinking and my everyday productivity. In your day, you have appointments, you have thoughts, you have to work out, you have to buy groceries, you have to do chores. All of this should be in your calendar. And this is what we call time boxing. It basically means that from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, all of the time in your day and in your calendar is boxed, and time has been put for different things. Let's say I'm going to the clinic in the morning. So, all right, from 8 to 3, I'm going to be at the clinic. From 3 to 4, I'm gonna work out. From 4 to 4:30, I'm gonna go buy groceries. From 4:30 to 5, I'm gonna call my family. For example, this is maybe something that most people wouldn't put in their calendar. But for me, this is something important. It's a social event that I really want in my day, and so I make a time box for it. In this way, I never feel that I don't have enough time. Because, for example, if I really want to work out that day, I just make a box for it, and I make the boxes for the rest of my day accordingly. So instead of saying, I don't have time, I literally make time and I prioritize. The fundamental thing about time boxing is that you should also put in events that are not very serious or work or school related, but actually have to do with relaxation. For example, 5 minutes of meditation or yoga or working out or talking to a friend or playing video games. You could put playing video games for 1.5 hours in the time box. And with this, you get away from the feeling that I don't have time or I can't do this, because you are the driver of your own time. The next tip is batching. And batching is a thing that I first heard or actually read in the 4-hour work week, and it has to do with being effective with your time. Once again, surprise. Batching has to do with collecting things that you have to do into different batches. For example, let's take dishes as an example. You have 3 meals during the day. After every meal, you have to wash the dishes. But if you would do batching, instead of washing the dishes a little bit 3 times, you would save all the dishes for the evening, and then you would do everything in the evening. That way you could make a time box for it, and you can have productive focus time during the rest of the day. Or let's take emails for an example. Many people check their emails before they get out of bed, and then they check the email on the commute, and then they check the email during work hours, and then they check the email in the evening. But with batching, you could, for example, check the email once before lunch, because that means that all of the emails from the morning have been checked, and then once before you leave work, and then you make sure that everything that has come up during the workday has been completed, and you've just sat for 2 sessions instead of constantly going into your email and refreshing. Because let's be honest, does an email really have to be replied to within a few minutes? Usually not. You could do batching with a lot of different things in life, mostly chores and repetitive tasks that move you away from being effective, focused, and productive. And it's just a really good phenomena, and I'm really happy that I learned this in the 4-hour work week by Tim Ferriss. The next tip I have is the 2-minute rule. And the 2-minute rule is really simple. Anything that takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. And this is a real mindset shift, and it has to do with the mindset shift that I talked to you about in the first tip. You are in control of your own time and your own life, and you have to be productive if you want to reach your goals. And these tasks could be boring, but if you don't do them right now, they will haunt you during the whole day, and then you can't have the focus that you want. So the 2-minute rule says anything that could be done within 2 minutes, just do it. If there are socks on the floor that you have to remove, take them away. If you have a couple of bills to pay and they're just sitting there and you're saving them for your Sunday administration, just sit down at the computer and just do it. It goes so fast. and then you'll be happy on Sunday that you have less bills to pay, for example. There are a lot of different examples and they vary for different people, so I'm not going to take up any more. These were 2 specific examples from my own life, but this is just a way to feel empowered in your productivity and also to own your own time. That just anything that goes fast, just do it. It's a mindset and it makes you so much more productive. And the final tip is basically put away time for planning. So basically, put away time during the week or in the evenings for all of these tips that I taught you. For example, in my case, every Sunday evening, I plan out the rest of my week. And of course, there could be changes, but it's just a general plan so I have an idea of what my week will look like. I do the time boxing, I put in my workouts, I put in the time that I'm gonna call my family, I put in when I'm gonna pay the bills. Everything is just clear on Sunday evening. So when I wake up on Monday, I feel really empowered, effective, productive, and it's just time to start working and doing good things towards reaching my goals. And as I said, it could be Sundays, it could be Fridays, or it could be every evening. So the real thing here is to do the planning before you start the work. Because as soon as you're on the go, you get all these distractions. So make sure you do the planning beforehand, for example, by putting away 1 hour every Sunday to just do the plan for the rest of the week. And I promise you that you will reach your goals faster and feel much more focused, productive, and effective during the week. All right, guys, I hope these tips helped you out. I mean, some of them are maybe more obvious, but combined, using all these things, it will really make you a productivity god. And just by using these tips, you will be so much more productive than a lot of your peers. If the video helped you out, please consider liking and commenting what you liked, and also please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.